day with this hidden, complex pain. Leaders and loved ones struggle to understand their experience. I have experienced this personally. I was sexually abused as a child. I've written this book to inform fellow victims and to help them become survivors. But I'm also an ordained minister, and I want to inform other leaders about this issue. Therefore, what I share is drawn not only from research, but also from my experience as a survivor of sexual abuse and as a Christian leader who has assisted others on this journey. Christian leaders live on the front line of ministry with hurting people. It is crucial that we are informed and equipped to respond to the complexity of this issue. I hope this book can be a useful guide to the nature and trauma of child sexual abuse for both survivors and ministry leaders. I also know this journey from the perspective of being the partner of a survivor. My wife, Priscilla, suffered the abuse of her father. She generously shares portions of her story in this book, as well as insights from her knowledge and experience. She is also now an ordained minister. To be clear, this is not a book about how to prevent abuse or how to deal with perpetrators. I write as a survivor and as a Christian leader, not as a psychologist or a therapist. It's a book geared for church and ministry leaders, to prepare them to support survivors of sexual abuse, and it also includes content specifically geared for survivors. It can be read by both kinds of readers. You will see that often I write as we throughout the book. By that I mean you and me, we the survivors, and we the Christian leaders. Those two perspectives, as well as careful research, have informed the insights that follow. Defining sexual abuse. The term sexual abuse can cover a range of acts, but it most specifically refers to undesired sexual behavior of one person upon another. In this book, we're exploring the subject of child sexual abuse, and in that case, there is really no need for the word undesired in the definition. Any sexual behavior by a person toward a child, that is, a person under the legal age of consent, is abusive. Pedophilia is an abnormal or perverted attraction to children. The legal term is molestation, which technically means to disturb or interfere with. It is the use of a child, directly or indirectly, as a sexual object. None of the terms feel quite adequate, and of course unwanted sexual behavior is traumatic at any age. So while this book focuses specifically on child sexual abuse, many of the principles in these pages may apply to a variety of sexual assaults. But let me be clear. If you have experienced abuse, I can't pretend to completely know you. People respond to abuse and trauma in different ways. You may resonate with some things in this book and not others. That's okay. I know my experience, and I know it was hell. I also know something of Priscilla's experience from the perspective of our close relationship. On the occasions when I have shared my insight with others, they have resonated with it. But I don't want to pretend to know yours. I say this to respect that you may be experiencing deep pain even as you read this, and I want you to know that you're not alone. I hope that what you find in the pages that follow speaks truth and helps you. There is a way forward. If you are a Christian leader, this issue may seem baffling, ugly, and frightening. I hope sharing my story here and these key principles will also give you confidence to walk unafraid into the mess of ministry in a safe and informed manner. This is not a therapeutic book, because I am not a psychologist or trauma expert. It is designed to give you knowledge, because knowledge is power, and recovery begins with empowerment. And that's why I believe my story, with glimpses of Priscilla's story as well, may be helpful. Our perspectives as survivors and ministry leaders have given us insights that I think are truthful and useful. In the pages that follow, I explore the questions that I wanted answered, both as a survivor and as a Christian leader. I try to carefully and clearly unpack this dark and mysterious subject and offer you a map. Before I share my story, I'm aware of how difficult it can be to hear about